The police have killed innocent people. Two examples are standing out to me. One is the actress from Grey's Anatomy who said "kill me" to them and they killed her because she was hoarding, and the other one is the homeless man who brandished a pipe in public. Having power over the people is one thing. Being a corrupt organization of powerful people is another. Once the senator began to tap his pen at the number of times Rodney King was hit, we were informed that the police force is debunked. By the time of George Floyd's death, we are wondering how we are going to stop these people from representing us. Defund the police becomes a slogan. It is said that Notorious B.I.G. had been killed by the police. When I was growing up, Nazis, Pol Pot, and China's mistreatment of Tibetans were examples of corrupt governments. I believed, unlike the corruption of third world governments, we were supreme. We are not. The government, the court system, the jail system, and the police operate in a system of archaic darkness. I used to think that the United States of America was a bright light in the world. Today I know we are corrupt as the best of them. There is nothing to be proud of. We are not unlike Nazis. Prisons are not like death camps for most of the American people. How is the rest of the world faring while we reap what they sow? Colonialism is something that has pulled back in most of the world, but power is still vested in Europe to themselves. They are not going to back down, and in fact, they will lose face in order to establish the fact that they are not going to be good to the rest of the world. Will we still have prosperity, first world comforts and pleasures? The world wants to know if they get a slice. The immediate answer from Europe is no. The thought from progressives is yes, of course, that is our direction. Now that we have traveled this path for more than 20 years, we are facing a panic. The vaccine, the limit of indoor admittance, the sanctuaries of marriage and profession have sheltered many people from the harsh realities of life. That is fine. But when the realization occurs that these people are taking prisoners in order to sustain this way of life, the goodness of the structure begins to deteriorate. Prisons, cadavers, homeless, a corrupt police force, and a class of people who are unmentionable are just a part of life for most people. They separate themselves from these populations and they don't care to think that they could be wrong. The same social engines that ran the Nazis and the Khmer Rouge run the United States of America. The underlying thread of separating oneself from the victim is common. The system just plain works that way. Some would riot and have it destroyed. Better thinkers know that all you have to do is raise your consciousness and end prison cadavers and respect those in destitution and poverty. The world can change for the better. The children of all people do not know it. They are the most sheltered by the suffering of others. The old know the ways of the world. Youth culture is no longer a high commodity. The poor have wealth as well. They should not be trapped by eyes that turn from wrongdoing. By today, as a whole, we are not even allowed to admit that we are wrong. People are afraid. But 20 years have passed, and the powers that be are no longer the same. We have to know who to emulate and beware that the tendency to capture is to capture and not endow. The first world is the height of existence of this understanding. It is not enough. The rest is not explained unless one is willing to admit the glitches of the system.